Welcome to the Oddity Shop, where the bizarre is always on sale.
Welcome in, you oddballs. This is the Oddity Shop podcast, where we talk about the weird, the creepy, the bizarre, the shocking, the murderous, the give me another word.
That's why I do the introduction. That's why I tell people what they are. Anyways, I'm one of your curators, Zach, and this is the host who's trying to be me, Kara.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
You look cute with your little Hop Lot brewing company. I love Hop Lot, bro.
We're in the dead of winter, and I just want to be sipping a beer at Hop Lot outside. For those of you who aren't from Michigan or haven't gone to Hop Lot, north of Traverse, south of Sutton's, the best outdoor brewery, fun place you'll ever go to, and you'll never want to leave.
Well, we've never gone together. That's sad. So, because we're in the future, so this is from the past, but this morning, I'm like listening to our latest episode because I'm putting it up on socials and I like to listen to it as I'm. And the episode was.
It was episode number 64, Mediumship.
Okay. So I'm listening to it and you ask a question kind of about deja vu and you're like, oh, is this like deja vu? Whatever. And then because I was getting ready for work, it was early this morning. And then I'm thinking, wow, I'm just like really starting to in my brain deep dive about deja vu and just like whatever. And then I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I'm still getting ready and I'm like, oh, cool. What's up, weirdo? Dropped a new episode. I'm like, cool. It's been a minute. Love them. And I'm, kind of just getting ready, autopilot. And then all of a sudden, I don't remember why, but Tenny starts talking about deja vu and literally answering like your questions.
It's another little synchronicity. They start popping up when you start looking for them.
And it was so weird.
It is. So
because
weird.
It was in my head still about the deja vu stuff.
Yeah, like you're still thinking about it.
And I'm just like, because Jessica asked something about deja vu and he, Tenny just goes into this full blown thing about deja vu and the different, and I'm like, how weird is it that we dropped our episode and you asked that they dropped their episode on the exact same day and he like answered it.
That is so strange. Not terribly shocking.
No, it's not because this happens to us all the time. But I had to post on our socials like, hey, Tenny answered our questions. So go listen to their episode to get the answers.
And if you haven't, go back now about, 6 weeks? We're doing good. Yeah. We're like way ahead.
I feel bad that we're ahead though, because I don't like being in the future and feeling like we've missed stuff that we should be talking about.
I know.
From the past. But you know what? Sorry, guys. This is just the way
we do it when we can. All right. And the fact that we're ahead in one thing in our lives, let us have our moment. Stop pulling us down, listeners who aren't even giving us crap for this.
No.
Did I already talk about on here? I may have secured a spot for us to do a ghost hunt. I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast.
You told moi, but I didn't know if we wanted to. Let's not.
I'm not going to say the place. It is a medical office now that I would have enough connection to know the owners of. And I started to hear some of the stories. So it used to be a place that held a lot of trauma before it was a medical office, specifically childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And in the basement, multiple employees have told me about the fact that they have actually seen the same spirit down there, or they're hearing phantom cries or like a lot of strange stuff. And the listener, hello listener, I won't say your name just because we're keeping your business private, is or the owner is a listener. So thanks for listening and supporting us.
Now, I'm sorry, is the basement, I would assume, is like their storage-ish area?
No, it's actually, there's like full offices down there. That's like, they have like a conference center down there. It's like a full basement.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize. I was kind of thinking that it was more just like a storage of like files.
No, it's like office down there.
Ooh, that gives me more goosebumps just because they're actually down there doing stuff.
Right.
Ooh. We got to figure out when we can do that.
I know. We need to figure out that. We need to figure out all of our cons for 2024. We might, I'm putting it out there into the universe. We might work a con. We might put a booth up. So you might see us in person at one of them coming up. We'll see.
It might be too late.
We'll see.
I don't know how far in advance we got to do this shit. We'll do what we can.
Other than that, I don't have a whole lot new. What about you?
I think it was just Tenny being Tenny.
Well, next week is not for us because we've already said we're way in the past, but for every one of you, it's Valentine's Day. So I have a question for you. What's the craziest thing you've done out of love?
Here's the thing. I don't know if we do crazy things out of love or for love.
For love, out of love.
Usually we do crazy things, though, for other reasons. You know what I mean? Like, we're just crazy, or it's like the jealousy, or it's like the...
Well, jealousy is still related to love, I would say.
No. Oh, God. Okay. The craziest thing. Hold on. I really want to think about this. I'm trying to think of all my boyfriends.
Same.
Just to think of, like, all the crazy things I've done. But I don't know if I have craziest things for love. I have no idea.
Okay, while you're thinking, I'll tell you one. And mine is, it's from a much younger Zach. But a much stupider, right? Where, like, I thought I was in control of my emotions, but then you get a little bit older, you're like, oh, no, not so much. I was a terrible subtweeter to get attention from the people that I was crushing on. So I'd, like, figure out what they were posting about, then post about something similar, right? Or, like, it was such an obvious, like, cry for attention for these people's, like, attention that I wanted. It was never good attention, and then I'd start getting mad, so then I'd start subtweeting, like, angrily.
So you're not talking about, like, full blown, like, you're in love, like, in a relationship.
Oh no, it could be unrequited love all the way. Like, what, like, the emotion of love has driven you to do something crazy and stupid?
I mean, I can't think of an exact example, but I would just say, I don't even know if it's crazy, but just, like, not being yourself. You know what I mean? Just, like, trying to, like, fit in to be whatever that person or the group of that people, like, I did that my whole entire life, to be completely honest.
Like, changing your personality to...
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
Fucking A, man. If we have any young listeners, which I hope we don't, because we suck, but don't do that shit. It's so fucking stupid. You waste so much time and energy.
And listen, we're not getting up on our soapbox to tell you it. We've been there. We've done it. Be yourself.
It's pointless to not be yourself.
Absolutely. We sound old, but we're right, damn it.
Well, now when we're recording this, I'm 35, so.
Well, you're old, but... Okay, well, in this episode, since love is in the air and it's Valentine's Day next week, we're talking about love potions and aphrodisiacs from around the world. But, you know, it's the Oddity Shop, so we gotta find the weirdest fucking ones.
This is not where I thought we were going, but I'm so in for it.
There were some otter that I had to, like, leave off this list because my stomach was literally turning. I had to walk away from writing it.
Oh, really?
Yes. They get strange. Okay, so I am taking a lot of liberties here, but I'm gonna give you some definitions. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between an aphrodisiac and a love potion.
Okay.
A love potion. Now, both of them can either be one ingredient or a concoction of ingredients, or both could be, like, drank or eaten, right? But the love potion is something which you want somebody else to eat or consume to fall in love with you.
Okay, yes.
Where an aphrodisiac is more of a, you eat it to get in the mood.
Yes, okay.
Right, so one is, like, control of another person. The aphrodisiac would be more the control of your own damn body. I mean, it could be both of you, but...
Okay.
Aphrodisiacs are literally a little bit more consensual. Let's say that.
Well, if you know about it.
Right. Well, that's where I'm saying the aphrodisiac is usually something that one or both people are eating to increase their libido, where a love potion would be like more of a you're trying to sneak it to somebody to fall in love with you.
Love me.
Then we have to talk about too, like, the popularity, right? Like, love potions. Although witchcraft is having quite a resurgence, they're probably a lot less popular now than your aphrodisiacs, which are, let's be honest, anything, sex sells, and anytime you can increase it, it still is.
Well, I think, like we were just kind of talking about, that we're now in 2024, people are realizing that we don't need somebody to love us. So why would we make somebody love us? So potions are out.
Hold on, we gotta pull in the great words of a leader of the community, RuPaul. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anybody else?
Boom, baby.
Okay, so they could be organic, they can be inorganic, you know, like those little pills they sell at the gas station. Those with a rhino on it, usually for whatever awful reason. Or like even MDMA or ecstasy.
Oh, you know why
it's considered.
I didn't know why it's a rhino. Are you gonna tell me?
I actually left. We can talk about it because rhino horns are an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, like crushed up rhino horns, which is so fucking sad.
It's fucking sad. And I specifically left that one off here because it's not fucking weird enough. That's how weird we're going.
Well, good, because that type of stuff pisses me off. Like, leave that rhino alone.
So I've got a list of them, literally from all around the world. As we go through them, you have to tell me.
Oh.
Is it an aphrodisiac or is it a love potion? And you can make your case for either, but we're going to make this one interactive.
Let's clarify. So a love potion would be like if I wanted you to love me, I'm making a potion for you to take. An aphrodisiac.
Get potion out of your head out of it, though, because
I know, but I'm just saying.
Drink.
No, I know. No, I know.
Okay.
But that's something that I'm like slipping you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not consensual. And then the other one would be like, hopefully it would be both of us. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
All right. The first one is the Spanish fly.
Oh yeah, Spanish fly. Okay, yeah.
Do you want to take a stab at it before I explain, or do you want to do it after I explain?
Anybody that's an Easy A lover, I love that movie. They talk about this, so that's the only reason I'm like, yeah, Spanish fly. But I don't really know anything more.
Spanish fly has been used since ancient times and all over the world. One of the most popular users, though, was the Marquis de Sade. Have you ever heard of him before?
Why does that sound so familiar?
There was a really famous movie where Joaquin Phoenix played him. He's quite a famous person, but he's a fun guy. So he was a political activist, but he also just wrote tons and tons and tons of smut.
Mm-hmm.
He actually spent most of his adult life in various prisons and insane asylums due to sex-related crimes and scandals.
Okay, that's, I think I know that. Yeah.
So one of those sentences, which he actually gets pardoned from, was after he gave 2 prostitutes I
already knew Spanish fly was an aphrodisiac, though, but it's okay, go.
The aphrodisiac, the Spanish fly. So where do you think Spanish fly comes from? What is it?
Oh, God. Hold on. I'm literally trying to recite the lines of the movie. I don't remember.
Well, I was going to say, wrong, because it's not a fly.
Yeah, I did know that. I'm sorry.
It comes from a beetle called a blister beetle.
Ew.
The male beetle will make this substance to gift to his mate so she can cover her eggs with it and protect it from predators.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Okay.
So it's called cantharidin, which is a substance that will literally cause your skin to blister just by touching it.
I did know that part, which is like, why are we taking that?
Well, glad you asked. Because when you ingest it, you get this feeling of being warm all over and some swelling in your genitals and maybe some other places of your body.
It's like an allergic reaction.
Yeah, because it's less to do with lust and way more to do with uncontrolled inflammation of your entire body. So while it might get you in the mood for some fun, it can also cause the following. Are you ready? Painful urination, blood in your urine, convulsions, prolonged erections, kidney failure, comas, and in high enough doses, you're gonna die. So, de Sade gives this to one prostitute.
Okay.
She becomes super, super sick.
How much did he give her?
Enough.
Okay, can I actually ask a really quick question? I know it came from the male beetle.
Yes.
When we're taking this, is it before it's covering the eggs, or are we also ingesting the eggs?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to.
I'm going to just say it's before the eggs, because that makes me feel a little bit better about this. Okay.
Fair. Fair enough. Well, so de Sade, he has the fun with the prostitute. She gets really sick. He didn't have enough on that night, so he gets a second one, does the same thing. They both end up at the same clinic. I don't know what they call them back in de Sade times.
I don't know either.
But he's ended up arrested and charged with sodomy and poisoning.
Rightfully so, I guess.
Also, fun fact about the Spanish fly, it's what the Greek gladiators would take to prepare for their orgies.
Oh, makes sense.
Not so fun fact, however, it's also used today to medically remove both warts and tattoos. That is how corrosive it is to your skin.
Beetle sack juice shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing I want. It doesn't put me in any sort of mood.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Moving on to number 2. We're going to India.
Okay.
Everybody likes to get flowers, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of a romantic gesture, would you say?
Yeah.
So commonly, if you were trying to woo a man or a woman, what kind of flowers would you give them?
See, I'm a big person of you should know what type of flower that person likes.
Okay, fair. But usually a rose or a marigold or an iris lily.
Marigold?
Marigolds Hell yeah. Marigolds were like super famous bouquet flowers.
I guess you would know, not me. You worked in a flower shop.
I did. From the ages of like 8 to 14. But most people, I guess, probably wouldn't think of it as a romantic gesture to get this next sort of flower.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of the Dutura flower?
I don't believe so.
Well, it was a popular ingredient in concoctions in India. But on its own, it's actually a super deadly hallucinogen.
Oh.
So it actually belongs to the same family as the deadly nightshade.
Oh, nightshade.
And when ingested in small amounts, it can cause a little bit of euphoria, delirium. Middle amounts, it's kind of getting closer to like a GHB or a date rape drug, making somebody a little easier to control.
Yikes. Okay.
Are you ready to guess?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go. You continue.
Okay. In larger amounts, it can cause complete delirium, the inability to differentiate reality from fantasy, bizarre thoughts, hypothermia, violent behavior, and dry skin and mouth.
Okay.
Higher doses yet, you'll get in temporary paralysis, amnesia, and hallucinations that can last up to 2 weeks and even death.
Okay.
All right. How are you classifying this one?
All right. Well, with all that end stuff, I don't know why you'd willingly want to take that, but because we're saying that it's like a popular ingredient and because it's like to easily control somebody, to me, I would think that would be more for like a love potion.
Okay. I will say this. So it was a ingredient for love potions in India where it was used as either the love potion or the aphrodisiac.
Okay.
However, there are other parts of the world, especially in South America, where people will take like a powdered version of it.
Oh, willingly. Okay.
And they will unwillingly blow it into somebody's face at a bar instead of using like a date rape drug or whatever. Now you have somebody who is basically under your control. It almost
so it's
turns
that
people
potent
into
that you can just like. Whoosh.
Yes.
That's disturbing as all hell. Can
it's
I ask
super
you,
disturbing.
I don't remember who just said this. So are we just crushing up the petal? I don't want to give anybody ideas on how to get this or do this, but is that what it is? It's just
from
like
the
crush
stamen,
up petals?
Yeah. Well, the stamen is those stalks in the middle. Where
the
like, the pollen's
base
formed.
of the flower, whatever. Yikes.
Yeah. It's called like the devil's flower or something in other places.
What color is this flower? Or is it multiple colors? Do we know?
There's multiple.
Wow.
So, but like I said, so it's technically a love potion because I would say,
yeah,
it was an ingredient for actual love potions, which we can see why. And now it's used to like straight up control people, which is horrifying. One kind of really sad fun fact. I don't even want to call it fun, but in like ancient civilizations in Colombia in South America, they would drug the wives of chieftains after the chieftain died so that these women were so easily to control, they could literally just like guide them by hand and then bury them alive alongside their dead husbands.
Why? And also, if if my husband died, you obviously know this is going to happen to you because it's happening to everybody else. Bye.
Run for the hills.
Run.
Okay,
moving on. So excited.
I'm not going to tell you what number 3 is at first. We're just going to get into the story of it.
Oh, God.
So 17th century colonial New Mexico. So the Spanish colonizers are living in New Mexico. They're trading goods with the local Native Americans. And from records from the Spanish Inquisition, are you familiar with Inquisition?
Ish, yeah.
Basically, the church came with soldiers and told people what they could and couldn't do, and called half of them witches and blah, blah.
Okay, yeah.
More church control through violence to kill anybody who didn't believe exactly what they said. Anyways, so they noted that many Spanish women, or not noted, but the records, they found a lot of Spanish women who were convicted of witchcraft after administering a concoction that they received and purchased from Native Americans.
The Spanish women received it from the Native American?
Yes, they were buying it. Now, they were also accused of witchcraft.
Should this be
I'll
obvious
tell you why
to me?
in a minute, but you should. Is it an aphrodisiac or a love potion?
I'm a Spanish woman purchasing this from Native American. I would say after, I don't know.
If they're getting convicted,
okay.
Do you think they were using it to improve their own performance or to...
Oh, so they're probably wanting to control.
So in this potion...
Okay, I'm like...
were specific herbs.
Okay.
Mashed up worms.
Worms.
Mashed up worms, not just worms.
Mashed worms.
And a slew of bodily fluids. I'll let you guess which ones.
Oh, a slew of bodily fluids.
They would be sold the worms and the herbs, but the fluids had to come from them for the potion to work. So you would gather all your items, you would mix them together.
Oh,
and
my eyes are burning.
To get the potion to work, you would have to take the mixture and somehow spread it across the chest of the person whose love you were trying to gain affection from. I don't know how they did this.
I was going to say, because if they're trying to convict me of witchcraft, how would I spread?
So they were convicted after they were...
Oh, after this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes. The women, they were convicted of witchcraft because they were using the potion to try to win love.
Okay.
So how would you convince a man to let you rub mushed up worms and
well, I'm not going to tell him what's that. Why would I tell him?
Perfect. So they actually, the only explanation I could find is they got them to do it by convincing their suitor that it was goat cheese.
Why would you rub goat cheese on your chest?
I don't know, but I'm sure it is somehow a lot easier to convince somebody to rub cheese than mushed worms. Yeah, you got herbs, you got a little bit of liquid, and worms.
I feel so uneasy right now. I can only imagine the other stuff that you couldn't put in.
There were some I had to walk away from.
If anyone said, hey, will you rub goat cheese on your chest for me? I would...
Specifically this goat cheese that looks like worms.
The closest object that I have to stab you in your jugular, it's going in your jugular.
Well, that potion didn't work, obviously, for you.
Do you feel the most powerful and beautiful with the elements of the earth around you? Do you like one-of-a-kind jewelry? Do you sometimes feel like a woodland fairy? Me too. That's why I created Holly and Hemlock, a magical shop filled with handmade wooden jewelry and metaphysical tools. Come check out our enchanting wooden wares at www.hollyhemlock.com and join us in honoring the magic and beauty of nature with each unique creation. That's www.hollyhemlock.com.
Goat cheese, and I know it's not goat cheese, but that's what you're telling me. No, absolutely not. Get the fuck away from me.
Ugh.
Why couldn't you just say it was like a new moisturizer?
This is colonial New Mexico.
I know, but I don't know, a lotion, herbs to make you...
Then again, in New Mexico, there's a lot of sun, so
yeah, herbs to make your muscles not hurt. I don't know. I would come up with anything other than goat cheese.
Okay. Next one?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to church?
Take me to church. Okay. What are we doing at church?
Have you ever had communion?
No. Yeah. No.
Do you know what communion is?
Yeah.
The body and blood, they give you the little wafer, you drink your little wine, your sins are forgiven.
I have had it, yeah. And it was like grape juice, and I hate grape juice.
Oh my God, ours served real wine. But when you were at the church, do you remember what kind of denomination the church was?
No.
Okay. So in the Catholic Church, though, a communion host, those, the little wafers, or as I used to call them growing up, Jeez-Its.
Stop it right now. Did you make that up by yourself?
Yeah. Okay, so when I was a kid and I used to go to church...
Wait, hold on. I have to give you so much credit. That is so fucking funny.
I used to try to make the pastor of our church laugh every Sunday.
You would.
So sometimes I'd go up with both my hands cupped like a little Oliver Twist. Please, could I have some more? Other times I'd be like, oh, you got the good Jeez-Its today? Or like just some little quip to try to get her to laugh. And a couple times I succeeded. It was great.
Only a couple times.
Only a couple times. She caught on to me. But anyway, so the communion or the rite of the Eucharist is where churchgoers eat their little wafer, they have their wine, and it's believed to symbolize the body and blood of Christ. Okay, yes. So this is because Last Supper, before Jesus is crucified, he breaks the bread and shares his wine with his disciples, stating that it's his body and blood. It's basically to symbolize Jesus giving himself
where are we going with body and blood?
To people to get rid of their sin. I know. Just hang out with me here.
I really don't want to.
In this fashion, though, the church believes that once the wafer and the wine are blessed, they do actually transform to being the body and blood of Christ.
Oh my God.
Okay. So what does this have to do with what we're talking about? Well, in medieval Italy, because the body and blood of Christ had the ability to help get you to heaven, right? Or taking part of the rite of the Eucharist or communion or whatever your church calls it now. People believe that the little food and snack or drinking snack, whatever, had
The Cheez-It.
magical properties, the Cheez-It. So in 1228, a young woman sought advice from an older, wiser woman, sorceress, and how to regain the interest of her long-lost sweetheart.
Okay.
So the wiser,
go.
older woman, sorceress, told her that she needs to steal some of the consecrated host, so a wafer after it's been blessed,
Okay.
to use it to give to the man to get his love back.
Okay.
All right. Right now, what is it? Aphrodisiac or love potion?
Love potion.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, correct. Jesus is a love potion. So off she goes, and she gets away with stealing some. So she's at church. She pretends to eat it. She pops it out of her mouth, puts it in a little cloth, and she smuggles the body of Christ out of the church.
Okay.
So she gets home. She goes to make it into the potion with all the other ingredients that the woman told her she needed to gather. And as she unwraps it, it had turned from a wafer to a bleeding piece of real flesh.
Cute.
So she doesn't make her love potion because she starts to freak out. She goes back to the church, and they are obviously not happy with her.
No.
Especially with the other lady who convinced her to commit the theft.
Sorcerer.
Yes. So a letter by the church was written to the Pope at the time.
No.
And they also collected the flesh from the young lady and sent it to the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
1228. Remember, the church at this time is like basically death to anybody who goes against us. So they're writing to the church. I actually found a copy. It's not the actual letter, right? But a copy of the letter saying basically, hey, we need to punish them. What should we do? Well, the Pope believes this is a sign from God that the host really does transform into the body of Christ. So he basically says that what the women have done brought upon a miracle from God himself. So they both receive a pardon after, of course, they had to repent first. But after their repentance, they received a pardon for their crimes. Now, this apparent hunk of actual Jesus is still held at the Cathedral of Alatri today because it's believed to be a miracle straight from God.
Wait, it's really been tested and it was meat flesh?
I mean,
what does it look like now?
It's been held since 1228. Who knows if the church let them test it?
What does it look like now?
A hunk of flesh. It looks like a hunk of flesh.
No, because it's from no, it don't. It probably is shriveled.
Okay.
Rock.
Next one. Ready? We're going to Asia.
Okay.
One ingredient, cobra's blood.
Ooh.
Ooh. What do you think?
Well, it's poison. You know it's poison.
Not the blood.
Well, but they're just poisonous creatures?
Well, they're venomous. They're not poisonous.
Shut the fuck up.
Venomous is bite you and you get sick. Poisonous is you bite it and you get sick.
It's the same damn thing, you're getting sick.
No, because if you don't eat the venom...
Stay the fuck away from the cobra.
Okay.
All right.
This one
you gotta give me more... something else to go off of.
I'm going to just spoil this one to move on because it's basically our next line. It's an aphrodisiac. It's also really easy to find because in most of Southern Asia, cobras are like super, super abundant.
Mm-hmm.
So you collect the blood, whatever way you choose, and then you drink it. Some do it from actually collecting the blood. Others do it from literally sucking it straight out of the snake.
No, that's okay.
Either way, it only works, though, if you actually watch the snake be beheaded prior to ingesting it. And it's supposed to, for one night, 5x your virility. So you're getting horned up.
But I gotta watch the head be beheaded.
Yes.
This is idiotic.
So all over Southeast Asia, especially like Vietnam, it's commonly sold in restaurants, bars, and street vendors.
Wait, but... if it's sold, you're not watching the snake be beheaded.
Oh, you are.
Oh.
Their restaurants and street vendors are not quite like ours. Sometimes what they'll do is actually put the entire snake in alcohol.
Okay.
So that the snake's already dead.
Yeah.
You behead it, you get the blood out, and then add it back into the
alcohol. So it doesn't have to be alive while it's beheaded. You just have to witness the head. Okay.
So it's actually kind of like become like a tourist trap or a unique cultural experience for visitors because they found like, especially Vietnam and Thailand, they can like get a lot of money from tourists. By like, ooh, try this. 5x your love life, one night only. Can't get this anywhere else.
What are the side effects of this?
There's not actually. Well. Hold on to that.
Okay.
Well, there's a little caveat there. So, like, one of the most famous ways the tourist trap is less of that bottle of alcohol, but at a restaurant, they'll bring a live snake to your table, slit it, take out its blood, heart, and bile.
That's okay. I don't want a live snake. That's so sad.
Mix it with rice liquor, and then serve it.
No.
Unlike some of the other things on this list, like there's not much of like a measurable effect like we were talking about, like where like the inflammation or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you do travel to these places, be careful what you do try, because there's no poison that you're getting from the snake or venom that you're getting from the snake, because it comes from a totally different portion of the snake, right? But drinking raw blood from any animal can carry all sorts of harmful bacteria and viruses. So it's kind of be careful with it.
Ew.
All right. So if snake blood isn't your tea, then go over to Jamaica.
Okay.
Where if you want to increase your libido, like that of a rowdy goat,
you
can get yourself some Manish water.
Manish water.
So you might be asking yourself, Kara, what is in Manish water?
What the fuck is in Manish water?
Well, Kara, I'm glad you asked, because it's a dish that contains the following: green bananas, carrots, dumplings, herbs and spices, white rum, goat heads, tripe, which is the lining of goat stomachs, goat testicles.
I'm out.
And other assorted goat organs.
Why don't we just eat the fucking goat?
Because that's not Manish water, Kara. You have to, the head, the stomach lining, the balls. Okay?
Who said, I'm going to try a new recipe? Green bananas, carrots, what? Rice water, what?
Dumplings, herbs and spices, rum, and then...
Who did this?
All the manly parts of the goat.
Okay, continue.
All right, so who did it, we don't know, but it's a dish that's been popular for over 300 years and is referred to as Jamaica's favorite party soup.
Ew, party soup?
So not only is it used for most like parties, but it's also, there's a huge tradition of giving it to the groom on his wedding night.
Party soup?
Because, it's going to help man with his masculinity.
First off, this probably has taste nasty, but the name of it is party soup.
I wanted to know what it tastes like, and the best description I could find is Manish water, the classic Jamaican dish made from the balls and meat of a male goat, claims to leave a man with loins burning so hard he'll need to call an ambulance.
Okay, you scared me so bad, though, when you said I wanted to know what it tasted like. I thought you were going to say so. Order some.
You know what, though? If we're going to go through everything we've talked about so far, I think that would be the one I'd try, mostly because that is the closest to like an
I was going to
stew.
ask you...
Like, I've had tripe before.
No, I was going to ask you. I didn't know if we were done, but I was going to ask you at the end, like,
we're
what?
not.
Let's go then. Keep going.
Well, you get ready. I took that one. I'm asking you the question at the end. I told you there was a question at the end. How about a fruit next?
Okay.
Simple fruit. Have you ever heard of the durian?
Durian? I don't think so.
So this is a fruit from South Asia.
Okay.
Because fruit can be sexy too. It's a unique tropical fruit.
What does that have to do with being sexy?
Hold on. Wait for it.
Oh.
It's nicknamed the king of fruits because it has way higher nutrients than most.
Okay.
Now, we have to kind of get into this one because it's a weird looking fruit to start, and then why it is what it is.
Say it. What is it called again?
It's like durian.
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 Bigger than a cantaloupe, smaller than a watermelon. Can come in a couple different colors, but usually like greenish yellow, but can also be red or white. And the entire thing is covered in large spikes.
Okay.
Mostly it's grown in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. To even cut it open, like you literally have to wear gloves, get a big knife, and split it. And once it's open, there's like a fleshy fruit material inside and 2 giant seeds. Okay, so before we get into the flavor profile, let's go through the smell. This thing is banned in most public transportation
Does it smell
and
like
hotels.
dead flesh?
It smells like sulfur, sewage, skunk, rotting fruit, or roasted onions.
Okay. So it's banned on public transportation and in public areas, essentially, because it stank.
Because it stinks.
Okay.
However, the flavor makes me actually want to try it really bad.
Okay.
At the same time, it's supposed to taste like cheese, almonds, garlic, and caramel.
I'm going to mix all of that in a freaking blender. Nope, I'm going to mix it all in a blender.
But they serve it already. Goat cheese with a little almond, some garlic, and like caramel. Well, usually it's honey on the top, but caramel, like I could actually see that being pretty tasty.
I'm going to make that for you.
They actually use it in ice cream a lot.
Okay.
Think of like a softer cheese, like a brie.
I'm going to make it for you.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's also super, super healthy. And all those nutrients will help get you in the mood. And its flesh is silky and erotic with
the fact that you're saying
flavor.
Flesh about a fruit is disgusting.
It's kind of fleshy looking.
Well,
so it's supposed to get you and your partner in the right mindset for, some of that funny business. But there's 2 schools of thought the more present thought is you can get all these effects just by eating it.
Okay.
And it will give you the boost to your horniness.
Uh-oh.
The second thought is that it actually has to go through a specific process before it gives you any of the naughtier effects. Do you want to know what that process is?
Not really.
That's right. You guessed it, Kara. It does have to travel through an elephant's digestive system and be collected before being eaten by humans. I don't know how you got it, but you're so right.
What happened to humans?
Okay. So here's the thing, though. They've done experiments on this one and actually found scientific proof. So they would give not with the elephant part was left out, but they would take the fleshy material of the fruit and they gave it to mice, and they found that mice who had eaten the fruit had measurably increased libido and sperm count.
That's fine. But what happened to us as humans that we were like, you know what? I'm going to wait for the elephant to shit that out first, then I'm going to eat it.
I don't think I want to know. Okay. Sorry, that one, aphrodisiac or love potion. Pretty obvious on that one, I feel like.
Aphrodisiac, yeah. Because, yeah, you're just taking, yeah.
The next one, I'm not going to tell you this one again. We're just going to get into the process. Okay, we're going to Pakistan. And traditionally, hundreds of years ago, back up first. Okay. There's one culture that believes that leather workers are the second lowest ranking members of all occupational groups, because leather workers were like the jack of all trades. They kind of did like a little bit of everything to help out other people like the butcher and everyone else involved with the animal before making the leather.
So they're...
So a very useful person, but not high up in society.
Well, that's real fucking dumb.
Right? So they're treated as being very useful even in death. So a certain type of witch would, at least traditionally, like we said, mount a pig and ride this pig up into the graveyard, where she would exhume the corpse of a freshly dead leather worker. Has to be a man. Now, she takes our leather worker, hangs his body from a tree, and she cleans his body with water.
Oh.
That body water is not allowed to run to the ground. No.
We're collecting it. Okay.
And that water is collected and sold. Now, who may buy this? Well, there's two types of customers.
What do we need the pig for?
Well, she had to ride the pig to the graveyard to make it work. I'm going to be honest, there was probably about 6 pages explaining why it was a pig. This actually came from a very scientific article.
Okay.
I couldn't understand the culture enough, but she had to be riding a pig. Okay. So the first customer would be women.
Sorry. This reminds me of Madame Zeroni. And you know how you have to carry Madame Zeroni up up the hill? And
but why is that so familiar to me?
Holes.
Who's Madame Zeroni?
From Holes.
I need to rewatch that movie.
I know you do so bad because it's one of my faves. Okay, Madame Zeroni.
They painted bearded dragons and tried to say they were.
I know that part's bad, but only because we love Reptar so much. But Madame Zeroni.
All right, back to our customers.
Sorry.
First type would be usually women who would add it to the tea of their husbands or lovers to keep their love alive and strengthen their relationship. Now, the other customer could be men. Men were also allowed to use.
Oh wow, good for them.
The water. Right. However, it didn't work on women, so they could only be used to enchant a homosexual lover, never, ever, ever used on a woman.
Watch out, Nick.
Oh, yeah, he's been drinking that leather water for a while now. How do you think I've kept him with me for 2 years?
You were rotting that pig.
Oh.
Why did you do this?
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Anyways, so that was traditionally. Have no fear, though, is literally what's next, because the ritual's not completed any longer. There's no witch, at least not mounted on a pig, and she doesn't have to go dig up the leather workers. Now, the witches are brought into the leather workers before they are buried to clean them and collect the water. Much more humane.
Wait, we actually do this now?
Yes, there are still parts of Pakistan that do still do this.
So, do I have to... Well, no, never mind.
It's not, like, well advertised, but... All right, now the one that almost made me walk away. This is called love cakes.
I'm done.
Do you want to take a...
Nope.
Do you want to take a stab
shit.
at what it is?
Shit.
No. Do you want to take aphrodisiac or love potion, though? Just based on the name.
Well, if it's cake, well... I don't know. If it's cake, I could be like, hey, I made you a cake. And it could be like a potion.
You're right.
Okay.
Last one was morbid, right? This is just downright fucking disgusting.
And it's not shit.
Medieval European love cakes. It's not shit. It's not. I promise you it's not shit.
No, I know, but that means it's going to be worse.
We're going to go through the recipe. Step 1. I mean, you're baking a cake. It's not that hard. Step 1, you must undress completely because for the spell to work, you have to be in the buff. Naked cake. Okay. Step number 2, you make your dough or your batter. Any kind of cake you want. Step 3, you take the dough and you now rub it in your armpits, on your breasts,
this was gonna...
your genitals.
That's what I...
All of them, behind your joints, anywhere where you might have any sort of liquid coming from.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So there are shit particles.
There's a little bit of shit in the cake. I guess you were right all along. So once the dough has all of your essence and sweat, you can finally move on to step 4, traditional baking. And then step 5, you serve it to your unsuspecting victim. Oh, not victim. Your unsuspecting lover. And once your crush has that first bite, the power of your own sweat. But he's not your
lover because you want him to be.
Okay, we'll go with victim then.
It is
a
victim.
The power of your own sweat will make them fall head over heels in love with you.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, that is the medieval love cake. For me being such a sweaty person, God, I didn't know it was so powerful.
I guess it's like, nope. I was gonna say, I don't know. It's like your pheromones, like.
No, but if you want pheromones, I have one last one for you.
Ew.
Ambergris. You ever heard of this?
No, and I don't think I want to.
Each and every day, sperm whales throw up one of the most valuable resources on this planet. A substance called ambergris. We only collect it from throw up now. Back when it's fashionable to hunt whales, you could also cut it out of their stomachs. This one, I put that it could be actually both a love potion and an aphrodisiac, because the reason it was originally collected was it was used as a base for perfumes, and it actually, in some instances, it still is.
Yeah, because it's like fatty.
It's fatty, but perfumes are always bound to like an oil or a fat or something, right? Because the smell scents are made to be volatile because they want to quickly get away. That's why perfumes work. It's coming off of your body all day long, right?
Yeah.
So they found out that ambergris was really, really well at extending the life of the perfume, but it also added to it because while at first it just smells like whale guts, after a while it starts to smell really sweet and it would add to the flavor profile of perfumes. So that's where it's love potion-y. It gets a little bit aphrodisiac-y because some people just straight up eat it, which sounds fucking disgusting to me. But they would cook it into like different dishes and drinks to give you some extra loving edge.
I need to move away from this.
Here's what's wild to me is the reason it gets better smelling. Do you know what's wild to me?
That somehow we, as humans, again, what are we doing?
Yeah, who was the first person who was like, you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
Would be great for perfume.
Or like, why were we collecting whale puke in the first place? And we were like, what? This looks interesting.
One of the most like expensive organic materials. Well, obviously, because who's like just watching sperm?
I did know that, but I didn't know what it was called. But it's just so fucking weird to me.
It gets like that sweet smell though, because as ambergris breaks down, it turns into ambrian, which is a type of alcohol. So it starts to get that sweetness. So our scientists came back for this one, and I fucking loved their methodology. So they took the ambrian, the alcohol, and they had 2 control groups, right? So they were given to mice. They brought in our horny mice again.
Okay.
I guess there was 1 control and 2 test groups. So the 1 control, they were men and women mice, no ambergris, acted like normal, right? The other one was mice, male mice specifically, who were given the ambergris, and they found out that even only around the presence of males, they had erectile response and homosexual mountings in the absence of a female partner. So I love the fact that somebody's job is to give mice alcohol, put them in the room full of the same sex mice, and see if they turn gay. I don't even know how I'd explain that job to my family. Whatever. So significant amounts of mice, though.
Somehow, if that was your job, I think we'd all be okay with it.
Right. I mean, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing. Let's be honest here. But like, they didn't get enough evidence from this, so they wanted to then give them a dose and like put them around the lady mice. And
the lady mice?
Yeah. You know, we're already watching the sober mice, and they're like regularly mounting, but the whale puke drunk mice and the lady mice hit it off really, really strong.
I just love that you keep saying lady mice.
It is not only increasing the horniness for ladies and men mice, but it doesn't just turn them gay. It just makes them overall way more horny. So this one, tried and true. Spray it on your skin, put it in your body. You're going to attract more, hopefully humans over rodents. But yeah.
All I keep thinking about is the mouse from Cinderella, the one that I like, the little chunky one. Gus, he's my favorite.
Oh my God. Guess we get crazy with some ambergris.
So I don't know where we go from here.
Oh, I know exactly where I'm taking this from here. I've had this one planned. And none of your cop-out usual shit. You have
hold
to
on.
pick one.
Which one are you trying? Before we get to this is just so random, and it's like one of those things where it's like, Kara, you should just shut the fuck up. But okay, we were talking about pheromones a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
They say when it's that time of month, like your pheromones are like pumping. You know, you wouldn't know, but you're supposed to be able to sense that.
Fair.
You're gay, so you're wired differently. That's fine.
Well, I guess during that time of the month, you don't have to make your love cakes. The essence is just working on its own without the dough.
I was going to say is I had an ex that will not be named, but somehow he'd always be like, you're going to start your period because your pheromones are kicking. God, no. And I was always so disturbed by that because it makes me think of how close to
I don't like that.
An ape.
Can we move on?
He was.
Oh, you dated him, so you were also pretty close to an ape.
I was under one of those love spells.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, can you real quick go through each one so I can remember?
We have Spanish fly inflammation, Dutura plant, hallucinogenic, basically date rape.
Okay.
We have worm goat cheese.
All right, I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing any of those. Continue.
Sacramental bread, but you can't just say that one because it has to be actual human flesh.
Okay, I'm not.
Cobra blood.
Okay.
You can't pick the next one because that's mine, Manish water. You've got the durian
I wasn't going to pick
fruit.
no goddamn Manish water.
You got leather worker water. Love cakes.
The durian fruit. What? I'm just going to... I'm picking cobra blood. I'm picking cobra blood.
Durian fruit, though, it's almonds and cheese and garlic and what's the last thing?
Wait, I thought... Oh, yeah, that was that one. What were the side effects?
From an elephant's ass.
Oh, yeah, it has to come out of elephant's ass. I'll just drink the cobra blood.
All right, I could see that. I figured you were going to pick durian or cobra blood. That was my guess going into it.
Even if you didn't pick the Manish goat body parts, I would never pick that.
See, I feel like I've had tripe.
I don't care what you've had.
Cow's
Why
tongue
would you
and
pick
mouth.
that?
I also had a beer that had been brewed with a pig's head. So other than the testicle, but everything in there,
not my friend any longer.
Like. Oh, that beer was hard for me to get down. I struggled. Everything that I just said, I struggled with. But.
Right. So then why are you drink the freaking cobra blood with me?
No, the blood? Homie, I pass out if I see my own blood.
Yeah, but
no, I can't do the blood.
I don't want to do any. I
would rather do leather worker water than blood. That's just water that's touched a dead man.
No.
Anyways. So you're picking cobra blood. We'll take a trip to. Didn't you want to go to Thailand? Didn't you and Aaron want to go? We'll hook you up.
No, you are coming with. Yes,
I know. Yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry. All right. Well, that's it. Now that it's pretty close to Valentine's Day, if you guys already have your Valentine, you're all set. If you don't have your Valentine, here's a list of 10 items to help you find him or her or them.
This is fucked up.
That's what I'll leave you with. Love is in the air.
I need to go. All right. Do all the things that we always ask of you because I got to get the fuck out of here. But most importantly, creep it real.
Happy Valentine's Day. And creep it real. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm saying it. You took my beginning. Creep it real, ya oddballs. Goodbye.
Bye.